experience. In the case of the game for a player like me, I've never been like a huge PvP guy. I probably have about 2,000, 3,000 hours on live. I honestly can't tell you how many hours.
You are a PvP guy, though. If you have 3,000 hours on Tarkov, you are, like, one of the better PvP guys out there.
I have on single-player Tarkov. I've been playing it for probably around 4 years, and before that I wasn't playing Tarkov at all. It was just this giant money pit that I had spent cash on that was just sitting inside my hard drive on my desktop that, like, I didn't really feel like dealing with Battlestate's shenanigans, and so ultimately I stopped playing the game. This allows you, if you already own the game, to put that software to good use. No matter what price point you bought into the game at, you can go download this right this second, and it piggybacks off
my
of
God,
your game
it's
files, and it just runs a private server on your desktop that is like lossless. It has no latency, no lag, none of that stuff going on, and the game feels incredible in my opinion because of it. One of the big travails that Tarkov has always had to struggle with. Sorry, there's somebody on our right now, and I'm trying to hunt him down, but there's also somebody on my left. So I'm trying to be a little bit paranoid about not getting shot in the dingus right now. Is there anybody inside this little room? Nope. One of the big travails that Tarkov has always had to struggle with is the fact that their, oh my god, is the fact that their netcode is not altogether that good. There's lag, there's cheaters, there's hackers. There's so many of these problems that have all built up, from hackers directly removing objects from your inventory while you're in-game, to the egregious queue times. The people that own the game need an escape from all that nonsense. And I'm here to tell you that single-player Tarkov, I've been playing it for years without problems or issues, and it has solved every single one of those things for me, while at the same time offering you the opportunity to actually mod the game as well. Like the single-player Tarkov, it's got a website and it's got a full modding area where people are working on conversion mods. They're working on things that adjust the game. They allow you to totally convert the game if you want. In the case of things like realism mod, you can turn the game into an actual hardcore stalker misery mode game if you want to. I am running modded right now because some of the mods are just too juicy to pass up on. You've got everything, for example, like when you run that private server on your computer, there's a mod called Server Value Modifier. And what does Server Value Modifier do? Server Value Modifier allows you to change anything and everything about the game. So if you've got like these little annoyances that have built up over the years, like there's these little gameplay aspects that you don't like about Escape from Tarkov that you wish would go away, you can actively do that now and just eliminate those mechanics. Or you can make the game even more hardcore. You can make it even more nasty by going down the modding path and making the game effectively a pseudo-military tactical sim stalker misery mod or stalker gamma mod to make the game even harder and even nastier. They've got overhauls to the AI that you can install over there because the scavs have always been kind of like geographically flexible turrets. They don't really act like human beings or do things that human beings would do. Well, that problem's been solved. You can now go in and you can install a mod called Sanes, for example, which makes the bots much smarter and play much more like humans and have much better aim and much better reaction times. And they respond to sounds and things that they hear on the map, and they come and investigate like a human would. Sometimes they squad up and they'll hit you in like a large group, or while playing through, the game also simulates other player characters that are playing in groups and things of that nature, so that you're still getting a pretty authentic Tarkov experience while saving yourself $250 and all the bullshit that goes along with dealing with Battlestate games on a daily basis. For example, one of the things that these overhauls do is the enemy will push you while you're healing. They will push you while you're looting. They will listen for sounds that indicate you're in a weak state, which is why I'm acting so paranoid right now, because we have a guy that I know is around here somewhere, and I can't.
They're all low. Oh my god.
Opportunities like this for me are actually kind of rare, because I'm an indie impressions guy. I play a lot of games on a weekly basis, and I have a daily turnaround on my content. And what that means is I very, very rarely have this situation where I have like thousands and thousands and thousands of hours played to be a requisite person to talk about a title or drama or anything else that's going on inside the industry at the moment. There's this guy right there. Man, he rickied my bullet off his helmet, dude. I'm rarely in a position where I can speak about a game like this, but I figured since the missteps that Battlestate has made lately are so particularly
Oh.
are so particularly egregious and like
I don't have enough
obnoxious and money grubbing
parts.
that this was the time for me to step on in and vouch for a project that I believe in very much. Don't pay $250 for a single player Tarkov experience. Now obviously there are going to be some caveats here. There is unfortunately no multiplayer inside of single player Tarkov, as you may have guessed from the name. You're not going to be able to squad up with your friends. I have heard that there are certain mods that allow that. But unfortunately, Nikita over at Battlestate Games, that's the guy, the CEO that runs it, he said that he's okay with single-player Tarkov as long as they never integrate multiplayer. And so I've stayed like a long ways away from it because I like this project and I don't want it to get like deleted by a DMCA notice. In fact, I keep backups of various builds and also various Tarkov builds installed to hard drives so that if that ever happens, I can still continue to play this thing if it ever goes offline. But you aren't going to be able to do multiplayer. That's unfortunately the only difference between this single player mod.
Yeah, but it's
and
not
the
good
one that
enough. It's like it's a great SWAT
and pay
shooter.
$250 for, which in my opinion, as I said earlier, should have been like $10 and nobody would be complaining. They could have completely and totally avoided the shitstorm that they now currently find themselves in. I would have personally myself paid the $10 or $15 for like a single player add-on to Tarkov. I would have done that in a heartbeat, because what can you buy for $10 or $15 nowadays? You can't even go to Taco Bell for $10 or $15. Unfortunately, they priced it at $250, so womp womp, what can you do about it? And the answer to that question, what can you actually do about it, is go play single-player Tarkov right now. Now, as I mentioned, you do have to already own the game for single-player Tarkov to work. What you need to do in order to get this game up and running is that you need to download Escape from Tarkov from the BSG website. Once you've done that, you fully update and patch it. You're going to go to the SPT website itself, and then with SPT ACI, that is single-player Tarkov, and I don't know what the AKI stands for at the end of it. But you're going to take that, you're going to download it, it's going to give you an executable, you're going to make a folder somewhere, you put the executable inside the folder, you run it, it's going to extract all the files it needs from your Tarkov installation, and then from there, it's going to patch it on up to the latest SPT version. Then the folder is going to populate itself. Once it's done, you just go into the Tarkov folder that you just made, you run the server, you wait till it gives you the green light. Literally, it gives you a green light after it does all of its runtime checks. And then you're going to run the launcher, hit play game, and you're ready to rock. It really is like back in the day when this mod first came out, you had to do a whole lot of file migrations. You had to follow steps. It was very similar to installing like a Tarkov. We got somebody swagging up on us. What's this guy want? It was very similar to installing something like Gamma, where it took a little while. And it took a little bit of effort, and it took a little bit of knowledge on how to navigate the file explorer. No longer. The game is really simple to get installed on your computer. So if you've got Escape from Tarkov just languishing away because you're tired of the hackers and the queue times and all that kind of stuff, just like me, it's not difficult to install. It takes probably about 5 minutes if you already have the game installed. It's very, very easy. And then from there, modding the game out is a little bit of file migration, but every single mod that's up on the SPT, I guess, workshop, it's all been virus scanned, it's all been looked at by the creator of SPT to make sure it's all copacetic and good to go. And then from there, you usually just have to you either have to drag in like the Bepanex folder, or you have to drag something to a folder inside the Tarkov single player file that you made that says mods, and that's about it, and then you're good to go. From there, you've got like a little dashboard you can open right there. You can see it. That allows you to fiddle with all of your various mods. Right now, I'm not running like heavily modded, but I do have the AI modded. I do have some graphical changes installed, and then from there, I also have a whole bunch of tweaks to the game through my SVM server modifier, because through that little powerful tool, you can make this game do anything. You want to give yourself 10,000 health on every body part and basically be a walking god? Maybe you're disabled and have trouble playing reaction games like this, and you need to be able to soak a few more bullets to really experience the looting and the shooting. You can do that. This is a great thing for accessibility as well. If you don't like the key...
I think about the XP is good, and it could be good, but there's no base building. It's just that crappy hideout, which I do like. I like that hideout, but I'm not a gun guy into extraction like this as much as these guys are.
These have limited durability
It
on
needs
them.
mobs or RPG loot or something, and it's got good RPG loot, but it needs mobs. It lacks mobs, and the run speed is too short. I would need to improve the run speed. Like, I think of Skyrim being more fun of a single-player game than this in terms of its modability and what you could turn it into.
Break every now and again.
Like Fallout 4 or something.
And you can disable that. Anything and everything can be fiddled with inside SVM. All of the base components are still here. Everything about Live Tarkov is preserved inside of SPT except for other human beings. You can build up your base. This is a reasonably new save for me right here. I've actually got my good playthrough of SPT Aki where I'm like maxed out on everything in the living room. And I'm getting ready to do a reroll, but you can build out your hideout the exact same way that you would in a normal game so that you can produce bullets and ammo and armor and send guys out on missions to bring you stuff. All of the trader quests are still here. You can do all of them, and the existence of PMs.
There was some good stuff in Tarkov. I like Tarkov, but it just didn't have something that I wanted. It didn't have the base building of Rust. It doesn't have the zombies or anything. It lacks the depth of Rust. It's not there. It's just not there. I made a lot of money off those alligators. They actually pay. And the wire fiber right next to them. It actually pays really well. Yeah, that hyssop does too. Although I think, wow, 245 gold in hyssop, but I think I make more money off the, or well, I would rather skill up off the what's it called? Powerful, Alkalest. Yeah, 63 of them. Powerful Alkalest. Let's see if I can sell those.
Being simulated on the map allows you to do the PvP stuff that some people would be worried that you wouldn't be able to do. You've got all the normal progression here. It's effectively Tarkov Unchained, which is what I would have named. SPT Aki, it's hard to remember. You know what I mean? Like, I would have given it a little bit more bite. I would have called it like Tarkov Unchained or something like that, because you're unchaining yourself. This is such
from their stupid
Escape from Tarkov is such a good game. And Battlestate did such a good job with like the modeling and the animating and the lore and the universe and everything else. But they've just run the business into the ground as it stands right now with just terrible exploitative decisions that like I don't think any community would stand up for. Like, they've got things now in here along with the queue times and the hackers and everything else that would make a gacha game blush. And so that's what I would call it, Tarkov Unchained. You're playing the game unchained from lag. You're playing it unchained from netcode issues. You're playing it unchained from enormous queue times. You're playing it unchained from a $250 purchase that also gives you a bunch of OP nonsense inside the game that sort of breaks balance and makes you like way doper than everybody else playing, which should never be a thing inside a competitive title. So that's what kind of like inspired this video to take place, is it was like this rare intersection of like, oh shit, dude, that's a game that I used to play a ton and probably have, I hesitate, oh god, dude, I can't even estimate how many hours I have in this game at this point. Sorry, I had to hold my breath to shoot because I'm remedial.
2,000,
I can't even tell you how many hours I have in this game. And I gave it up because I wasn't tired of the game. I was tired of dealing with all the nonsense.
Yeah, he went through the same struggle with Tarkov that I did with Rust. I was like, I'm tired of the bullshit from the stupid-ass community cheating all the fucking time. Getting right in my fucking face with rat tunnels and cocksuckery bullshit. Harassing me on Twitch and hate rating me and all this stupid-ass shit. And I was like, I'm sick of the fucking treatment. I'm sick of it. Like, I like this game, and I should not be punished for liking this game, you know? Fuck that. Let me go get another beer. I'll be right back. good to hear another gamer go through the same kind of stuff I've been going through. I struggle with this with Rust. I still believe Rust to be Tarkov superior to Tarkov.
That surrounds playing the game on a day-to-day basis. Like, when you're no-lifing this game like I used to no-life this game, every single wipe, every single patch, every single everything. Aw, dude, he shot my leg off. It's kind of unfortunate. That's going to be a little bit of a hassle as we go forward. Sir, I feel guilty about saying this, but I'm glad that you're dead. You shot my leggy off, dude. That was my good leg, too. That was my favorite leg. On my 8th birthday, I decided that that was the best leg ever. And I decided that that was the leg that I was going to favor. And now I can favor it no longer. I guess I'll just take some painkillers. Get some weight off of it. You, like, single-handedly... Look, that's my blood on the wall right there. That's my blood on the wall. But if you're like me, where you just got tired of dealing with the nonsense that comes along with this game, while still loving the game itself, single-player Tarkov is a fantastic way to chill out and invest your time. Yeah, how do you like that?
Yeah, I bet it is. Gotta pee.
Get geeked, nerd. We got anybody else back here that wants to smoke? I need to pick up some more painkillers off of somebody in here if we're going to run this raid to its full. And so it's at this point that I digress. Do not deprive yourself of $250 in order to make a single-player Tarkov experience. Do not support that kind of bait-and-switch behavior from a developer. If you already own the game and you still want to play it, swap on over, man. Head on over to SPT. And start playing the game, in my opinion, the best condition that it has ever been. From here on out, I'm just going to talk to the game because I don't have I'm going to talk about the game because I don't have, like, a Tarkov audience. I'm going to talk about Escape from Tarkov and what it is for anybody that's been watching this video kind of scratching their head being like, alright, so this isn't like the normal pixel games that you play. What's going on here? Escape from Tarkov is a PvPvE tactical milsim looter shooter RPG that's been out for quite some time. It takes a lot of the aspects that are beloved about something like, let's say, Stalker. It combines them with the sensibilities, gun modding of something like Arma, and then adds a whole bunch of other features to the mix in order to keep players up and competing with one another. It is a full loot game, so when you die, you drop everything on you unless it's inside of your loot container. Along the way, you're going to be collecting items to build up a bunker hideout that your military kind of mercenary character has just available to him. That will give you access to more services and more things that make your runs a little bit smoother or a little bit easier. From there are vendors and traders throughout this post-apocalyptic hellscape that have various services and weapons and items and things that they will sell you. You level them up by doing quests for them on the various maps, whether those quests be assassinations or gathering items for them so that they can stock up their bunkers, or helping them figure out what happened to a friend who disappeared around the time that the apocalypse happened. You've got all of those features in there combined with absolutely fantastic. That was very loud, dude. I don't have my earmuffs on right now. Well, I do have earmuffs on, but they're not good enough. I'm kind of like limpy right now, dude, and it's making me feel a little bit nervous about this whole thing. And in my opinion, if you went back like 5 years ago, I would have told you, I was a true believer in this game. I would have told you that this is like the next evolution of first-person shooters.
Yeah, I kind of was too. Now I believe I would have said the same thing. When I bought it, I was confident it would be a really great shooter, but then by the third month or so, I was scared to get on because I knew I would just get one shot by the first guy that I saw. And it was this weird experience where I was like successfully raiding people who had more people than us and killing people on Fortnite with my trio and shit like this and getting wins on a high SR in Fortnite and pulling, you know, like, you know, silver to gold on Overwatch 1 and 2 and all this. And I was having this bad experience with Tarkov, where like every motherfucker that I met would just cap you from some bush from so fucking far away. It's so fast, you're like, what? And I've always had this problem. I've got a weakness with my Asperger's with target recognition or something. I'm very fast. I've got fast reflexes. I'll stomp fools. I've got the speed to do it even on Fortnite, but I don't have good target recognition. I'm almost always the first one to get shot, which is kind of annoying.
A dead guy? Is that what's going on right there?
And it's not like I'm bad. I win all the time. It's just that like I've got brain blocks, I think.
No, dude! I made my suppressor all smoky and heaty. Let's close that real quick. I'm gonna try to get this guy's body real fast. And this is one of those games that has an intensity.
Yeah.
That's actually fairly difficult to replicate out there in the world of gaming. Like, there have been a lot of challenges.
There's nothing like this game,
There have been a lot of games that want to be like Tarkov, but ultimately, the truth of the matter is, none of them quite feel like Tarkov in the same way. I don't know. I've tried a lot of the competitors, and in trying a lot of the competitors, trying to get off this game because I'm an addict, I always came up kind of disappointed. You know, everything from Cycle Frontier to you name it. I've tried all of them. I've played them all with my friends.
I thought Cycle Frontier had promise. I was like, I could probably play this game. I like Cycle Frontier almost more than Tarkov. But I was like, I don't think this is my game, though.
And, like, all of them just kind of feel hollow compared to this game. So I was really disappointed with a lot of the business decisions that the company made over the years. Ended up stopped being a Tarkov streamer, moved over to Variety, which is actually worked out pretty well for me. In all honesty.
You did well if it did.
But I've been back to streaming the game on the SPT. What is this guy doing? All right. Oh, there's somebody right there. I see his little flashlight. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, dude, hit me with the opioids. Let's feel it in my bones. I'm ready to fly. I'm ready for that horse. All right, let me drink some water real quick. There we go. Water's been drunk. Probably actually just, I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm probably going to have to run another morphine in just a minute. But I needs my Gatorade, bro. I needs my Gatorade. Pomegranate juice. Pomegranate juice is expensive as hell in real life. It's pricey.
It is. I just like how expensive pomegranate juice is. It's fucking pomegranate juice. Is it hard to get pomegranates? It must be. I always thought those were kind of like plentiful. I don't know. No, I don't want to make anything else. I made the things that I was going to make. I need to repair all. This was 241, which is basically everything I had. I have to pretty much go back and buy all that again. I mean, it didn't really cost me anything. Yeah, just like buy all that stuff. It's fine. I'll go back and listen to what else he has to say. Then we'll go back to playing. Yeah, there we go.
They have it. Oh, I see him. I don't know if I got him. I'll put a couple more across the starboard flank right there just to see if I can get him. Anybody in here? Sometimes the AI likes to camp out in here. Some things are the exact same as Escape from Tarkov, whether you play them single player or not. And the AI liking to camp out in here, I gotta pack some mags, dude. My mag well's running dry right now. I've been shooting a lot of bullets and ending a lot of lives and causing a lot of tears. Right as I finish packing, it sounds like we have friends coming down the line. But this is one of those rare situations where I have the applicable knowledge to actually talk about something and probably...
The game is clunky. Like, even compared to 76, I think it's clunky. It doesn't have good frame rate. It's not a high frame rate game. I know it doesn't play well with others. And while I think there's something there, I've always wanted to really deep dive Tarkov from like an RP level, like, oh, I only roll at night and I MVG and I kill the sniper scav and all this, and it'd be fun, but it doesn't have the mob variety that I want in a video game. I know it doesn't. Even Rust doesn't, even with the zombies on Rust, which has a lot of good mob variety to it, is still not good enough. I'm thinking New World is starting to be maybe my game because it has this difficulty level to it that is undeniable. I've been getting my ass kicked tonight by like 5 fucking gators. They fuck you up. No, wait, don't buy those. I don't want those. Don't buy those. No, what did you buy? No, don't buy those things. So, what about armor? Yeah, anything at all? Nothing, huh? Yeah, you saw that I wanted those things. Yeah, I did. So I guess we gotta go higher, huh? How about 10 to 15? Will you sell me anything like that? Yeah, just buy all that stupid shit. I frankly don't care about this money. I suppose I should, but I don't. I don't care about this money at all. I'll blow 500 of it. I don't really... I mean, that does not bother me. There's those repair kits, but I mean, they're just about as expensive as this is. What about the armor? Yeah, I like the armor. This stuff should do. This is probably enough, and I'm going to crack this, and this will be enough to repair again. The gators tore through me. That cost me some money, like 500 gold to, like, die to those guys. There's 184. I got further than I thought I would. That's all the armor I bought? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. So, yeah. I need more money, and I feel like I keep spending more than I'm making, which is kind of dumb. But I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, we doing good, though. That's like pretty good, you know. I should let it just stack up for a while. I've been like kind of like, I don't know, stone cutting, smelting, rewards, ammo. Okay, so I want to go back out to the desert. The desert is my favorite place. I don't mind being there. Oh yeah, I have a. Do I have turn-ins? I have turn-ins at the fort and at that thing, but I don't think. I think it's just the town board, isn't it? So, but, yeah, but I lost the PvP. I lost the PvP because I died. It'd be a good time to do it now. Go do all that stupid PvP stuff and get up higher in the level, get better gear so these guys stop killing me so fucking fast. I like the mobility of light armor. I really do. But I mean, it's not too good. It's like not too good. Yeah, see, like then when I do all that, like it just like puts a whole bunch of stuff there. I do need to go there, I guess, huh? Foreign invasion plans, chemical thing. I need to kill. I think one of them is a corruption portal, isn't it? No, I don't want to join the post-Russian. Corruption portal. Maybe they'll let me take forts now without, like, fighting me. Now that they've all gone to bed. Will you just let me take your forts now? I'm such an asshole. I don't know. Like, I'm like, will you just let me, like, take this shit? Yeah, like, yeah, I don't care. Just take me there. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like, I mean, it's a good way to get around, like, the PvP problems of the PvP sucking. It's like a good way for solo to do PvP without having to get blobbed all the time. I should go back to my previous sets and weapons and stuff and just run heavy armor all the time. And switch up to medium. Like, go heavy across the board and then run a medium piece. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I like being able to roll like this. Oh. See, I wish I liked Immortal more. It just doesn't have the mob variety that this game does.
Relieve a little bit of pain in people's lives and losing a game that they believe in or a game that they're excited about. Single-player Tarkov is exactly that title. So I don't really have any idea if anybody's actually going to watch this video. Tarkov content is pretty far outside the range of what I normally do. I'm not Deadly Slob, I'm not Pestily, I'm not Veritas, I'm not any of those guys. But I have been quietly playing the game now for approaching a decade. I mean, a long way there, probably 6 or 7 years, on the backside of 5 years anyways. And so this is one of those games that I was very passionate about, and I think 3 or 4 years ago when I found out about FFXI and it was like fully in development doing its thing, I got very excited about that prospect, because for me the PvP was always something that I tolerated in order to get after like the RPG and the gun building and the intensity of looting and shooting and raking people with gunfire. And so FFXI has solved a lot of that stress for me, and it's unhooked me from having to put up with VSG's nonsense. It's one of those things that, for me personally, has been a tremendous source of joy in my life. I think the game feels absolutely fantastic once you unhook it from the servers and you make it latency lossless effectively, because you've got 0 MS running to your own computer. It feels snappy, it feels tight, it feels awesome. So if you've got Escape from Tarkov already and you're deciding to hang it up because you don't want to deal with the developers' nonsense anymore, or maybe you've gotten tired of the hackers or the queue times or whatever else, this is just a video showing solidarity with all the other content creators that are calling out Battlestate games on their nonsense and being like, this is unacceptable.
I like this video a lot. I thought it was very well done.
I've been playing FFXI for years. I've never had a single problem. I've never had a single bug, except for once I started fiddling with game files and whatnot, and that was my fault. The thing runs flawlessly. It runs great. Everything is tacked down. The developer is just one guy who's doing this like out of his garage effectively and doing a really, really good job with it. I urge him to keep it on up. You are bringing a lot of joy to people's lives by allowing them to play a game that they thought that they would never play again, just out of kind of like outrage or whatever else. And so keep it on up, and thank you for what you're doing. For those of you that own Tarkov but may have...
I wish it was better. I like kind of wish it was like better. The inventory's not so good. I feel like Donald Trump a little bit, like I'm snobby. But like, I wish the game was a little better. I feel like 76 is a better game because it has like fucking 250 different types of mobs, you know?
It up. You can go play this right this second. I will vouch for the title. I will talk about how good it is. In fact, I think it's better than playing live. I feel like live is a great game, but all the pay to win and all of the weird controversial decisions they've done over the years have really added up to give me a level of spite towards the game that makes it disruptive to play. This comes with the full experience, but with none of that baggage attached. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day, so you don't have to.
You can do such crazy things. You can get like a drum mag street sweeper with like crazy lights on it and a Teflon fucking armor, and you can like go through and just like dump fucking 40 like explosive shotgun rounds into some dude. It's such a powerful game in that respect. But I mean, I think it's got terrible problems that he's not mentioning. Like, for instance, the bullet drop is not that amazing. The shooting's good. The only thing about the game that there's two things about the game. I think, like, graphically, it's a very beautiful game. It's like up there. Graphically is up there with like one of the best looking games we've ever had. I think graphically it's beautiful, right? But I don't care about that. Where I think but also with those graphics also comes a client that doesn't really run well, and even if it is offline, it's still probably it's probably a lot better, but it's not probably amazing, not with other games on in the background. And while the mob riding's great and learning all those levels would be fun, it would be a hollow game kind of, without like being able to build, like, connect all the levels and put a base out in the world. It would be a hollow game to me. Rust ruined a lot of games for me. I think Rust is a better game.
Today up on the chopping block, we were talking about SPT-ACI, Single Player Tarkov, a fantastic little project that I hope you enjoyed this video on. I will see you all later. Take care.
I did. It was good. I want
to
see. He's coming up, Splattercat. I think he's good. Yeah. A free and enjoyable new zombie apocalypse survival RPG vein. Okay.
What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games. I'm a little bit tired. All right. I was at a party all night yesterday, and so my voice is kind of blown out. I'm a little bit sleepy, but also, unfortunately, I did not have a video for Monday. So that's what we're doing here today. We're going to take a look at a title called Vane. This one has been on my wish list for a good long time. This is one of those titles that I have actively wanted to cover, but I felt like it wasn't quite there yet.
Ugh.
And it's a zombie apocalypse survival sandbox game with RPG elements that's being created by a couple guys from the Dead Matter team, actually. So back before Dead Matter released and ultimately didn't, there were a number of teammates that seemed to be a little bit ahead of the curve compared to all the other teammates that were like, dude, this game is going to crater. We're going to break off and go do our own zombie thing. And that's exactly what they went off and did. As of right now, there's just two guys. There's a programmer and there's an animator, or like a design guy that does the visual stuff. And this game is more or less being made like in the duo's basement while they work normal day jobs. So as of right now, the game is completely and totally free. You can check it out right this second. They've chosen to actually forestall any level of people being upset about the game or hating on it by making it entirely free, so that you've really got nothing to lose before you dive on in. And I've actually been reasonably pleased with this one. So the first thing you're going to notice about it when you go on through is that the game is pretty asset-y. There's a reason for that. The game is more or less made out of assets. The developers have been really honest about it. Inside the forums, they've been like, listen, we have a budget of $0 to make this game, and this is exactly what $0 gets you. However, there is a level of foresight, and there is a level of interesting things happening inside of this game when it comes to world interactivity, and the way that you can cruise around that actually makes me a little bit hopeful for this one, that it's going to turn out okay. So we're going to play the game for about 30 minutes. We're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list, or a game that you really wanted to pass on. If after watching this, you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. As I said, you can play this game as much as you want for completely and totally free. Nobody's going to care on over there. You can also find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream, just in case you wanted to hang out live. but let's get right on into it. In the case of this video, this is more or less my first impressions of the game. I think I played for about an hour before I booted it on up, and then I just made like a fresh character right here so that we could start the video off. This is a zombie survival sandbox, so these were very, very popular circa like 2012 with Project Zomboid, The Dead Linger, 7 Days to Die, loads of games just like this title coming out. Over the years, that's kind of like diminished. I don't think they come out quite as frequently anymore. It's pretty rare that you see a zombie survival game. But this one has a lot of interesting little interactivities inside of it. And the reason I decided to feature it here today is that, like, as I was playing it for that first hour, every time I thought to myself, like, I wonder if I can do this, you actually end up being able to do that thing. So, for example, every single house is hooked up to a power grid. There's going to be some kind of, like, electrical fuse or electrical box inside each and every one of these houses. It'll make the lights work. It'll make everything fool around. There it is right there. You could turn it off. You could turn it on. Basically, you've got a breaker box that dictates what's going on inside the house when it comes to power. But one of the things that made me decide to feature it was that I went inside of, like, a big building, and I saw a fire alarm switch on the wall. Now, this game has been really good about allowing the player to interact with just about everything.
Oh, wow.
So I thought to myself, I wonder if I could turn the fire alarm on. So I went ahead and I turned the fire alarm on, but it didn't work. So I had to go find the breaker box. Once I found the breaker box, I turned that on and got power that was being supplied to the building. I was able to turn on the fire alarm, which gave me another thought, like, there's a lot of zombies in this neighborhood. What if I just used the fire alarm to drag them all in? Would that work? Yes, it absolutely did 100% work. It dragged in every zombie for like a 5-mile radius, and I basically cleared out the neighborhood with very little effort and then was free to kind of like move around and scavenge as much as you want. This game does have multiplayer. I think it's hosted through peer-to-peer as far as I know, and the developer's been working on that as well. Ooh, free baseball bat. I'll take that. I like the UI in this game. It's a very slick UI. You've also got stats. These things level up through usage, a la something like Skyrim or something like Kenshi. So as you run around more, your agility will go up, which increases your move speed. You've got construction, which is building buildings. You've got medical skills, which is how good you are at using bandages and gives you better bonuses there. The icing on the cake is that every time you get 25 levels in one of these stats, you get to pick a perk. And the perks are how you flesh out your character and make them interesting. And so here, I'll probably end up taking sprinters so that I can run a little bit longer without running out of stamina, because I'm a bit of a runner in games like this. You can also break down everything around you that you want to break down. There's a half a squash and a pile in the garage. What? I mean, this isn't even the garage. This is the hallway. That's not where food goes. It's very unsanitary. As I was saying, you can also break down like everything in these houses. I remember thinking to myself, I wonder if I can fill up my water bottle at a sink. And I was greeted by a full suite of options of things that you could do with a sink. Everything from washing yourself to filling up containers to drinking out of the sink like a dog. You could do all of it. When it came to breaking stuff down, like you can chop down trees, you can build base implements. There's an entire base building thing inside of here and a crafting system. There's a lot of stuff to play around with here, and honestly, it all feels pretty tight. Like, the main issue I see with the game is just that it gives a bad first impression, looking like an asset flop. But, like, at the end of the day, if they built the game entirely out of assets, but they still did a good job, why worry about it? We've got cannabis right there, a little bit of the old Wheaties. All right, I'll take that. Don't know what it was doing in a pile on the floor. That's not where, you know, you think you have, like, a nice little thematic jar or maybe, like, a holder. Ooh, good. We've got a claw hammer, and it looks like we've got some other tools inside of here that we can utilize in order to start building base stuff. I find with games like this where it's wide open and we just need to figure out the thing that we want to do, that we should find something cool on the map, and we should just kind of go for it and see what happens there. So there's a big old church over there. I think I'm going to go investigate the big old church. I don't know what time it is right now. I don't think I have a watch or anything. So I think we're just going to have to sort that out as we go. But I'm going to head down the street, and let's just see what, like, the big old church has got for us. If I could find an axe around, this game kind of has a lot of similarities to Project Zomboid in the respect that it's going to be kind of difficult to do anything until we find a fire axe. Is there anything in the back of the truck? This game does have drivable vehicles. It does have vehicle driving skill. It also has hot wiring, just in case you can't find the key to the damn thing. We've got a dust mask and a stapler. What else we got in here? A flathead screwdriver, a school backpack. Yeah, go ahead and throw that on. I'll wear that right this second. Just to give me the extra 50 pounds of carrying capacity. That's the good stuff. Safety goggles, a stapling gun. Okay. Not a whole lot inside the garage that I'm, like, intensely interested in. If we could find a hardware store or something like that, it'd probably be a really good place to start off and get the things that we need in order to survive. But I'm going to check the church over here real fast before I do anything else. Let's go ahead and whoop the zombies real quick. Impacts in this game kind of depends on the weapon you're using. The baseball bat to me feels very wispy. It doesn't feel like it has a lot of impact. But when I was playing around with the fire axe, I had a character that I was playing. At the beginning of the game, there's full character creation. It's a little bit primitive right now, but it does allow you to get your stats into the spots where you want them to be. But that being said, I started out a character as a fireman. You start out with a fire axe. The fire axe has, like, the floppers. That thing smacks the enemy up good. Whereas the baseball bat I've been a little bit disappointed with. There's no key in the ignition. Alright. Well, maybe we'll find the key around somewhere. I don't know if it's like Project Zomboid where I need to, like, check neighboring buildings or I need to, like, walk around with, like, a ground view search in order to find the key, but maybe. We've got a very fresh bread slice right there, straight up in the garbage. I guess I'll go ahead and eat it. We'll do the hobo thing for right now. I've also got another bread right there, so we'll go ahead and eat that one on top of it. If you're wondering where all your medical stats are, they are right here. I very much like these menus. They're very slick. They're very minimalist. They're very modern. I think they look good. The only downside is on certain menus, the text can be a little bit small. Most notably, that's a fresh bread right there. Is that a fresh bread? All right, I'll take that fresh bread too. Watermelon rinds, everything else is looking to be kind of rotten and moldy, so I don't think we want to take a chance on it. Let's continue to check garages. I know I said I was going to head over to this church, but let's continue to check out garages and see if we can find anything inside of a garage. It's going to make our life a little easier. All this combat's leveling up our character anyways, so, like, why not worry? You know, why worry about it? I'm going to go ahead and wear the blue jeans. That way I get a little bit of resistance, because I was wearing basketball gym shorts, and I'm just not interested in those anymore. We'll wear a hat real fast. The way your character looks is not reflected in-game, at least not in the character menu as of right now. It always looks like you're wearing your underpants. So I don't know if this stuff is actually on me, because this is one of those video games where you can't look down and see your own legs. That garage door is locked, but this one isn't. So let's get on in here and see if any of these little tool chests over here have like a wood axe or like a hatchet or anything that I can use in order to start chopping down trees, and we could do a little bit of the base building action. After a little bit more looking, I see a warehouse over here. Might not be a bad idea to try and track down the thing that we need. For a little bit, I don't know if the power goes off long term like it does in Zomboid. These are both locked. Is there a back door? Okay, let's see if we can beat this thing open through the back door. It's probably going to do some durability damage to my baseball bat. But if we can clip this thing on open without making too much noise, I'd like to be in there. So the door's been taken care of. Let's go through some of the stuff we've got back up in here inside the warehouse. There's an ATM. Can I do anything? The ATM is powered. I wonder, I found debit cards on like some of the zombies that were around. Now I'm kind of like curious if you could take their debit card and you can actually use it on an ATM to take cash out of their accounts. I have found loose money laying around, so I'm guessing there is some kind of vendor around on the map. Oh, nice, dude. A lot of 45 ACP. Couple of magazines. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we got ourselves a pistol. That's all right. We're gonna pin that on our 2 key right there because we got ourselves a 1911, and I'm ready to let this thing spit, dude. I'm trying to put the fear of God into some of these zombies. Remind them that this is man's domain. So the warehouse was a big old loser. There was nothing inside of there. Gunplay wise, let's see what the firearm feels like. I had a little 9mm earlier. Okay. Is the bullet coming out of the gun sideways? Well, we secured the kill. Well, no, we didn't. Never mind. Okay, there we go. Now we got the kill. I'm guessing there's some kind of range limitation or something that I'm playing around with because I have absolute rock bottom 0 in gun skills. We have a lot of zombies that are rattling around now. Firing off a gun seemed to get their attention. It wasn't quite as bad as I was expecting it to be from playing Project Zomboid. I'm guessing there's some kind of bullet diversion past a certain distance. if you don't have gun skills. And the truth of the matter is, I don't have gun skills, so we're probably going to be kind of bad at shooting at moving targets. Nighttime looks good in this game. It doesn't get too dark to continue playing the game. I found the lighting effects to be perfectly fine for a game that's cobbled together by two guys in their basement. See if we can wipe you out real quick. Got anything for me? Remains to be seen. It's possible that going to a graveyard in the midst of a zombie apocalypse might have been a really bad idea. There we go. We'll wipe those guys out right there. What else we got inside of here? Newspapers, suit jackets, suit pants, dress shoes. Dress shoes might be nice, but we should probably find a place to crash out for the night. It's a little bit dark and spoopy out here, and we didn't find, like, any of the things that I needed in order to, like, survive and start chopping down trees and stuff. You can chop down trees. That was another thing that I was curious if I could do with the axe. And thunk, thunk, thunk. Tree fell right down without any problems. Hopefully the zombies didn't see me come in here. Oh.
Base building in Van
lady?
might be fun.
How we doing here? She did a little bit of damage right there, but it's not too bad. We're not bleeding or anything. Hey, there's a debit card right there. I wanted to test that out and see if I could steal the money out of her account. Good. If we can't do a little filth and villainy along the way, we've got some scratches. Do I have any bandages? I do have a compression bandage. I'm going to go ahead and apply it. You can now see that our wound has been bandaged, and this meter right here, which is like the injury meter, it will go down at an accelerated rate, thus causing our health to come back a little bit quicker. We've got a bratwurst inside of here. I love bratwurst, dude. Let's go ahead and eat the bratwurst. Oh, no. I got food poisoning. Was the bratwurst, like, super raw? All the bratwurst where I live is, like, pre-cooked when you buy it, so I figured it'd, like, be pre-cooked or whatever. We only got a little food poisoning, though, dude. We got, like, the slightest taste of food poisoning. We're gonna be totally fine. We are now well-fed. I think I have some water bottles inside of here, too, that you usually start out with. Actually, I just have a soda. That's about all that I have. I'm gonna go ahead and drink it, I guess. I don't know if that helped. But I do have the sink right here, and I can fill up the soda bottle with water. You can sniff things in this game to figure out what's inside of them. So if you find a bottle with like a undeclared fluid inside of it, you can like smell it. There is even a perk that you can take that makes it so your character is unable to smell, and thusly you cannot smell fluids. I was able to go to a gas station and I could wash myself in gasoline if I wanted to. Like, the game gives you a lot of like interesting little options that you can play around with, and they all function is the most important part. Does this house not have a bedroom? I guess I could just crash on the sofa, I suppose. A little bit of rough living, I guess. Was there no bed in here? Or did I just like walk past it? There's a bathroom. There's a kitchen. Okay, so this is like one of those, this is like an economy bachelor suite. Gotcha. We're going to go ahead and sleep. I'm just going to say 12 hours. We'll knock it out real fast. I am thirsty. Our scratches have partly gone away, and it looks like it's going to be a hot one out there today. So did I refill my container over here? I did? Alright, let's go ahead and drink up on some water real fast. We'll go to our medical so that we can actually see how thirsty we are right now. Cool. We're a little bit sated. We're taken care of. Let's fill the container up. Get that right there. I don't think we're going to need too much food for right now, so I'm not going to, like, loot the hell out of the house, because I'm looking for places that have garages or places that are kind of rural and may have tools laying around. We have several houses with garages, and also not that many zombies around, so that'll be good. Are the keys in this one? There is no key in the ignition. Is there anything in the glove box? Combination, calculator, beer bottle in the glove box. Okay. My man likes to ride a little bit dirty. Understood. What's in the truck bed? I want to, like, push the truck. I want to search the bed. Nothing inside the bed. Garage, you all good to go for me? Garage is a little messy. Probably needs like a cleanup effort, but we got ear protectors inside of there. What else we got? We got some bolt cutters. That might be useful later on down the line. Go ahead and grab those real quick. Zombies in this game, they do investigate sounds, so things like the TV being on. You get a stress level if zombies get the jump on you, just like you do in Project Zomboid. You can watch TV. You can find like DVDs and stuff around that allow you to watch TV to get your stress down. Basic painkillers and a flashlight. Yup, that sounds good. Take both of those. A map. I wonder if the map is actually usable, because you have a default map. Oh, never mind. I guess you don't. My other character must have started out with one. Alright, I thought you didn't need to find a map. Last time I hit the M key, it all worked out fine. It looks like we can open up the map right here and we can check out Redford on this side. I don't know if it's going to tell me exactly where I am. But it seems like a pretty small place, so it shouldn't be too hard to figure out, especially if we can get like a compass heading or something like that. Let's check this garage over here. Well, after a bunch of garages, I found a hacksaw. It doesn't have like a dedicated animation for like hacksawing things, but it is a way for us to gather wood and also play around with the building system. So with the wood that we have on us right now, I've got a bunch of wood logs. I also ended up finding a bunch of guns and stuff laying around. We can make these into planks and wooden scrap, and I think the first thing we need in order to get a base up and built is just a utility cabinet. So let's see how the placement works over here. I'm going to get my utility cabinet, and we'll just kind of like, I don't know, we can put it wherever. I don't really care where it goes. Put it right there, I guess. Hey, we got ourselves a utility cabinet. Alright. Sounds like there might be somebody home. One second, that door's locked. I had to explain why they haven't come to visit yet. Is anybody inside here? Thought I heard a zombie noise, but either way, we've got ourselves a 2-story house we can live. Oh, yep, there he is. He tried to stomp me in the face. I saw that. He tried to catch me. He tried to 300 me off the stairs right there, dude. That's how I broke my tailbone when I was a kid, is that my cousin was chasing me with a pool cue, trying to hit me with it, and I have this momentary thought when I was like 11 years old that I could jump the entire staircase down to the bottom
did that
in
once.
order to avoid being whooped with a pool cue. And
Yep.
I did it.
No,
But
I did it, but
misangled the jump. So
I flattened my arch on my fucking foot. It still hurts to this day. It's like I flattened my arch when I landed. I was like, I couldn't walk anywhere. I thought I broke my foot.
so that I landed on the bottom step and my feet went out from underneath me, and then I broke my tailbone. And it broke off into like the side of my butt cheek, and so there was like a hard spot in the side of my butt cheek for a long time.
Oh.
But my body dissolved it, so like now I have the power of a normal man, plus the power of a dissolved piece of bone from my butt that has been absorbed into my body. It's not there anymore. So that's kind of a magical story. Now that we have that, what else can I build? Can I build like a
Broke your
let's do
butt
like
bone,
a
did
standard
you?
workbench over here? So I need 30 wood scrap for that to work. All right, so I'm gonna need to do a little bit of organization here. It looks like while chopping down trees, I got a strength level too, so I should probably apply that. Strength level, did I already do something with you? Where's my strength level at? There it is. Do I not get a perk for it just yet? Maybe I'd already applied my perk because I started out as like an athlete. I'm gonna keep getting wood logs over here. And now that I've got all my stuff on me, I need a hammer in order to do that. Okay, let's get a hammer out of the utility cabinet real fast. Alright, so I've got my hammer. Let's see what's going on with this workbench over here. So I can build this pretty much wherever I want to build it, I guess. I'll put it up against the garage door over here, I suppose. It's not crazy intrusive, but like what kind of... Oh, look at that. We can customize out our baseball bat. I do have baseball bats. So it might not be a bad idea to make like a spike bat, maybe. Something that hits a little bit harder. Looks like we got bows in here. It looks like we got all kinds of things that we can craft inside of here. There's not a whole lot of threats in the world so far from what I've seen. Like, it doesn't seem like there's special infected or anything around that really press you. The only infected that I've had problems with are the sprinty ones. So there's like slow zombies, there's crawly zombies, and there's sprinty zombies. And the sprinty zombies don't make any sounds when they run up on you, so it can be a little bit of a mess. And the cool thing is, it seems like as long as you have stuff inside your utility cabinet, it looks like you can just craft from anywhere with it. And so that's pretty good. I don't hate that one little bit. I don't know if there's like hordes or anything so far. I haven't seen one in the time that I've been playing. Like if you make too much noise, a horde shows up. But I did light off a fire alarm inside of a building, and that called in like everything in the neighborhood, and it took a while to fight through all of them. The game seems to be focused on immersion, which I like actually. Like there's lots of little things like how wet your character is at the moment from the rain. There's little things like being able to find debit cards, and there's like ATMs around, and there's little things like, you know, food poisoning, and they're getting all the bare basics into play right now, and you can see what their influences are. Yeah, throw that stuff on in there, and let's see if we can make a spike bat. Alright, spike bat. I pin you. You're now on my 3 key. Yep, that definitely looks like a spiky bat. That looks like a bat with some spikes. I don't know if there's like any limiting part to how much you can put inside these storage mediums. I don't know. I've got a lot of wooden planks on me, though, because I was doing a lot of other stuff. So I might as well throw it on in there. It's improvised weapons, if nothing else, and that did clear out our inventory down to a nice, relaxing 42 pounds. I suppose setting myself up for other things that I might like to craft out here. Why would I want to make a notepad? I bet you it lets you actually write notes on the notepad. It looks like you can customize just about every blunt object you want with spikes out here, too, from, like, boat oars to everything else. We've got steel ingots over here. A water skin would probably be a good idea. I think I have some of that stuff. I think. I don't know for sure. Looks like I need needle and thread in order to get that knocked out. And I don't think I've been picking up needles and thread as I've been going through the game. Everything can be dismantled, or at least a big chunk of things in this game can be dismantled. You actually have a destruction skill that allows you to break stuff down more effectively and get more stuff out of them. I've got thread right there, but no needle. What about over in here? Nothing? What you got inside the trash can? Fan blades, some pliers. Okay. So I'm not going to have the stuff in there that I need. I already checked the van. I didn't find the keys anywhere inside the house. I was looking around. I don't even know if that's an implemented feature as of right now where you can actually go through stuff. They do have lock picking, by the way. You can do like the Fallout thing over here if that suits your fancy. It says that it's not implemented yet when you go to the skill page, but it seems implemented to me. So maybe what they mean by that is it's not fully implemented yet. I'm looking around the house. We got anything good in here? Not really. Nothing that's looking too crazy. This is locked over here too. Let me see if I can get it open. Hey, got it on the first try. Lock picking level 18. Nice. I'll take that. But yeah, aside from like the asset-y appearance of the game and maybe the impact of weapons on enemies, I don't really see too many problems here. It seems like they're fleshing this out from like a good baseline level, and they've left it free just to collect feedback and whatnot. Like, it's not like they're over here gating it behind a $30 purchase, which they probably absolutely could have done if they were trying to be scumbaggy about it. And so I think for like a little, oh my god, okay, she can climb. I didn't realize that she could climb. Had no clue the zombies could do that. I learned something today. It seems to have like some good parts in the right spots. I'm liking the immersiveness of the interactions with sinks. I had another situation where I wanted to get into a store because there might be something inside of there that I want. So I bashed out the front glass window, you know, like the big bay window for window shopping. I bashed that out, and when I stepped through, it cut my character up and I started bleeding. So it's got that feature from Project Zomboid where when you bust a window out or whatever and you try to climb into a building through it without cleaning out the glass first with like a, you know, a rigid object basically to get all the glass shards out, you get cut. I mean, there's lots of little things here that they've been referencing from other titles that exist that they're bringing on in that make me think that, like, this game just needs funding. That's pretty much it. Like, they just need a publisher to come along and be like, here is a stack of cash for you to get the game sorted out on the artistic front, or at least to buy better assets to make it all come together in sort of like a cogent design idea, and, you know, to, like, quit your day job and do your thing. And frankly, it's not bad. It's not bad. We got a bunch of cat food in there. I guess I'll take the cat food. I'm not looking forward to eating it, though. It's going to be a little bit miserable. Anything in the fridge? No, nothing really inside the fridge. You get XP for everything you loot in this game, too. So if you're going through little drawers, they got a little bit of the old Chiba over here, too. Who's here? Anybody? Oh, it's one of the running ones. There we go. Not like fluid runny, but like, you know, they got little sprinty legs on them. And so there's lots of little details here that I kind of dig, like the ability to empty out containers, fill them up with water, how every building is hooked up to like a power grid, which implies that later on there's going to be like, or maybe there already is. I saw like forges and I saw all kinds of blacksmithing stuff in the crafting menu. It's possible that you can build up a generator over time and just power your own building by hooking it on into the transformer box. I don't know. The game has been pretty detailed so far. Like, the only thing about it is it doesn't make like a hugely good impression due to like the lack of a centralized art style. Gives it kind of like that feeling of a game like House Flipper where everything looks very, very asset-y. But once you get past that, and once you get past the fact that like impacts on zombies aren't quite as gnarly as they could be in order to like sell that weight, it seems like there's a lot of things going on with this game that you could play around with completely and totally for free. So this is vain. You guys can jump on in. The developers seem to be very interactive with their community on the Steam forums. They seem to constantly be taking in feedback and like fixing bugs inside of 12 hours when people report them. Seems like it's on a good path. Hopefully they find that funding out there somewhere. And, you know, they can get some of the more artistic aspects of the games fleshed out so that it grabs the eye a little bit better from a Steam page. But as far as I can tell from a design standpoint, it looks like they know what they're doing when it comes to designing core gameplay loops. It looks like they know what they're doing with the way that the game world is arranged and all the various ways you can interact with it. And all of them seem to work really well. I'm guessing that the relative appearance and whatnot of this game is just due to a lack of funds. So, I don't know, maybe I'll put a video out there to help it get across the goal line and see if anybody will fund it and, like, give them a budget so that they can start playing around with, you know, custom textures and, like, custom of course I find the axe at the end of the video. Why wouldn't I find the axe at the beginning of the video? If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. They've got weather effects and things in here. And so I'm pleasantly pleased with it. Like, I came into this one kind of eye-rolly, just like, okay, so it's another, like, the Dead Linger, Dead Matter type game. It's going to be like a wash and a mess. But now, like, the visual portion of the game and just how asset-y it looks is really the only problem. That's not a problem that has anything to do with gameplay. That's just a problem that has to do with funding. So, hopefully you attract a publisher, sirs. Hopefully, you can get the game fleshed out in a artistic unified direction from there, but I mean what you've got going as far as gameplay right now feels pretty good for a free little game that you can play right this second. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block we were checking out a little game called Vane, which is What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a game that has been billed. This is how they described it to me. They said that it's the indie Skyrim meets Fable. And so that got my ears pricked up. I've had this one on my wish list for a while now. A good long while. It's a game called Mirthwood. It's kind of a life sim RPG. If you've ever played anything similar to something like Kinseed, that was the vibe I got from taking a look at the Steam page and the press kit. This is a demo. It's one of the first demos, actually, I think that the game's ever been showed off, so this is actually kind of a fun opportunity. The developers fired it over this morning. We're going to dive in for about 30 or 40 minutes and see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or if it's a game that you'd like to pass on. I've got the Steam page for you down below in the description, and from there you'll also find a link to my Twitch stream and my Discord down there where I'm rapidly trying to get back on a schedule with the Twitch stream. But it's just been so busy lately with random things, like putting videos together lately has been very time-consuming. But I'll get back to it.
Where you're from, it's where you find light when all grows dark. And your story begins in darkness. The embers of war burn. After all these years, it has finally reached your doorstep.
You've got, like, you know, you've got the search. I'm in my underpants, sir. You're expecting me to fight my way all the way across a valley of villainous brigands, armed with nothing but my huggies? Ugh. I can't talk to Mom. Can I pick up this axe and this shield over here? Doesn't look like I can get to it. What about the sword and the shield right here? Can I have that? Nope, can't have that either. Can I loot anything down here? What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Spaceborne 2. This is a really, really interesting one because this is the sum total creation of one guy, and it seeks to be something like X4, it seeks to be something like Starfield, it seeks to be something like Elite Dangerous, all simultaneously and at the same time. And one guy has made this entire thing, which is what's so utterly incredible to me. I've been binging out on the game all morning, so we're going to step on in for about 30 minutes. We're going to check it out, and we're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's one of those games you would rather pass on. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. On top of that, I've also got a link for you to my Discord and my Twitch stream, just in case you wanted to hang out live. But let's get to it, because it's time for us to dogfight. What is this title? Spaceborne 2 is a lot of things. It is a game that is wearing all of the hats to the point where it's very, very difficult for me to describe to you exactly all the things that the game has going on. There we go. Let's get that drone right there. I've been hired right now as a mercenary to protect this convoy of miners as they flow through space. And so I've dropped on in, and we are now getting rid of some pirates. But this is a game that has a little bit of everything from what I've seen so far. It's got dogfighting, it's got land battles, like at any time I can jump out of my ship if I want. Like even right now, I can jump out of my ship. It 100% does not matter. There's more of them coming on in? Alright, I'll keep that in mind then. Let's go ahead and swap weapons real fast. If you want to be a space mercenary, you can be a space mercenary and you can only take terrestrial missions. If you want to be a starfighter, you can do that. The game has base building. The game has fleet building and fleet commands that you can give out. I'm not quite at that point in the game yet. I'm about 4 or 5 hours on into my run right now, and I'm still running around in the starter ship. Well, not technically not the starter ship. Little piece of advice, don't spend a bunch of time. Yeah, get that drone out of here. Don't spend a whole bunch of time kitting out the ship that you start with. That's my piece of advice. This game does come with an extended tutorial. It takes it a little while to get going, but I promise if you can make it through the first hour or two, it will open up and you will be free to do just about anything that you want to do inside the galaxy. Let's take a look and see what our loot is looking like right now from this fight. So we've got 3 loot crates that are scattered around. Let's go ahead, and it looks like we've got a scanner right there. We'll go ahead and send a probe to fetch it. This guy right here, I'm going to need to get that pod as well because an enemy pirate who was wanted fell out of his ship. Not every ship is wanted, but a good chunk of them are if you're going to be going up against pirates. And you can recover the people from their little pods, and you can take them back and turn them into law enforcement if you want. But if you want to fight on the ground, you can fight on the ground with guns and lasers and sniper rifles and all that kind of stuff. We've got a Megadyne torpedo set right there. Some assembly required. It's fun for the kids, dude. You gotta get the kids a little bit of this, a little bit of that for Christmas. Oh, we got some goodies inside of there. What's inside of this one right here? The game also features proceduralized Diablo-style loot, so that every single piece of loot is potentially interesting. They've got little bonuses, like all of your laser weapons get more damage and stuff like that. Let me gather up all these goodies real quick, and then we'll get the hell out of here. And then this guy right here, I actually wanted to show you this because you can pull this guy out of his pod with your pod grabbers. So I've got to like go into first person here, and we've got to stabilize this pod. There we go. We stabilized it. Let's go ahead and back up a little bit because I don't want to hit him. But we'll pull in nice and close so that you can see this action here. And then we're going to crack him out of his pod right here. There we go. So I'm going to send out a little drone. And if we get a little bit closer, you'll see the drone, it attaches to his escape pod. And then in just a second, once it gets him out of there, it actually drags a human being out of there and puts him inside of our cargo hold, which is fun. But you can mine in this game. You can build stations in this game. You can build fleets in this game. You can fight and be a space marine. You can get involved in political situations and kind of intrude upon that kind of stuff. It's really up to you. It's kind of one of those sandboxes that is utterly surprising in the sheer volume of stuff that you can actively do. Just to give you some idea of how much you can actually do in this game, these are all guilds that are giving out missions. There's some of them that I haven't uncovered yet, I think through the storyline or whatever. The game does have a main narrative. It's clunky. The main narrative is like your dad was the leader of a rebellion, and he was defeated, and apparently human beings live under the hegemony of aliens now, and we're trying to throw that off by recreating that revolution and becoming space terrorists. Because, you know, why not, dude? Freedom isn't free. It costs space terrorism. But once you're part of one of these guilds right here, you are able to go to the Galactic Web, and that will serve you up a never-ending amount of things that you can do that will pay you off. You make money, you buy new ships, you get pilots, you get fleet wings that you can give orders to, kind of Mountain Blade style with the F keys to follow and be in formation and to hang out with you. If you wanted to see me hop out of my ship, I think I can do that right now. There we go. I can hop out of my ship at any time, anywhere in space. Anywhere that you want to be out of your ship, you can get out of your ship. And yes, those guns on my back are functional. And in fact, I have a job to do. So I've got a little bit of a mission right here where I need to help Alldayerrydaybaby escape from a village that is besieged by something. I don't know, zombies or something. It says rots, and I've never seen that in a quest before. We need to go to Aragao for that, though. If you wanted to get some idea as to the scale of the universe here, there are quite a few places that you can go, and I am still in the Lobi area. So we need to find Aragao down here. Aragao is right there. We're going to go ahead and set our route. It looks like it's going to take us a couple of hops to get over there. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll trigger up the Stargate over here. I'm going to head off in that direction. We're going to warp on out. I do have guys on board right now that I do need to take back to law enforcement. I'm a little bit worried they're going to shiv me in my sleep with... You know, I keep a lot of popsicles on board, all right? And one thing I like to do to keep prisoner morale up is I like to distribute some popsicles. But I get the feeling that they're whittling the sticks into some kind of crossbow or weapon. So I prefer to get them off the craft as soon as humanly possible. All right, we've arrived at our first Stargate, so let's go ahead and hail the Stargate and let them know that we want to go to the next plot in the route. It'll make you jump all of them in one go. You don't have to do this like a million billion times like you would in something like Elite Dangerous. But it'll slingshot us there, and the first time you've
This guy knows his games.
Process right here and keep it inside the boxes.
I don't think I've ever heard another streamer beyond many a true nerd that feels like he probably plays everything.
And off, and away we go. Please visit again. I will. As soon as there's more space people to be murdered. And now that we've arrived in Aragao, I've got to figure out, so what planet is this nerd on? This nerd is on Tugrugia. Alright, well let's head on over to Tugrugia and kind of see how this thing goes. And hopefully this doesn't get too mangy, but I did want to take a bounty on the soil so that I can show you guys every planet in this game is landable. So as we pull up to the planet here, you will see. Let me go ahead and accelerate. I'm going to give us all engines too. You can shift around your power systems with your arrow keys. And so every single ship has different speed, different attributes. There's been a bunch of different ships that I've seen so far just from looking at the markets and whatnot. We don't get to choose where we enter down on the planet. That is one modification that I'd like to see is if you have a mission, all the locations on the planet should have a little arrow on them and you should be able to lock onto them. And then if you enter Atmo from anywhere, it puts you directly over the top of that because there is going to be some travel time to be considered here once we get down onto the planet because this is actually a full planet that you can fly all the way around it. You can land wherever you want. I don't know if there's anything interesting out there. I haven't really wandered around any of the planets or anything just yet. But let's get through Atmo first. Atmo it is! And then we'll try to figure out how far out this location is. Let's go ahead and we'll jump into like third-person view. Every ship has its own cockpit as well, just in case that's the kind of thing that matters to you. It's going to look scary when we come through the clouds. It's going to look like we're going to the ground, but it always pulls you up right before you hit. And so here's our planet. It looks like it's a snow planet, actually, which is weird because the whole thing was red from space. Weird. Yeah, it's nasty. We got some pretty gnarly winds going on right now. Oh, look at that. There's snow all over my ship, dude. That's rad. That was a little... This game has so many little details. Like, you see how our ship's kind of rumbling right now? That's because this game actually simulates wind when it comes to your velocity while you're flying around the planet. I'm going to need to go to... Let's see here. I need to inspect this planet, and we need to figure out exactly what we're looking for here. Alright, so to planet-wide view, Imakora is over here. So we're going to need to find her... And we're going to need to, like, get over there, I guess. Let's take a look around. Imakora is back over that way, and what a pleasant piece of luck. She's only, like, 1,000,000 kilometers away. That's not actually that terrible, so I'm going to go ahead and slow boat my ass on over there. And once I arrive, we will see if we can rescue her from whatever zombie prison she's currently inside of. So after a considerably long haul, we're actually pulling up on this place right now. So I'm going to hop out of the ship, but as I was saying, there's a bunch of different ship varieties in the game. Every single ship has a designation. They have different special abilities. If it wasn't like a blue that was similar to the colors that you see, you know, on the white on the ground, but in the bottom right, you can see boost, defensive, and engine basically down there on standby. Those are special abilities that you can hotkey on in. Every ship has its own special abilities. Some special abilities are things like they fire a plasma launcher or they fire a big array of missiles at anything you're locked onto. Some of them give you a fat engine boost for a little while. Just sort of depends what ship you're flying, so you'll want to take a look at those. There's also a motley assortment of hard points and customizations you can do to all your ships, whether you be mining, or whether you be salvaging, or whether you be carrying cargo, or whatever else that you plan on doing. Big ol' spat of pop-in right there. Alright, so it says she's inside the city. Let's come in a little bit outside the village. I'm going to put the landing gear down real fast. You don't have to land super carefully. Don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. You can kind of thump your ship into the ground and nothing bad should happen. City's a little ways off, actually. I guess I parked out here because I was worried there was going to be infected and zombies around. That's okay, though, because I've got jet booster. Oh, there's guys all over my ship. What are you guys doing? Oi! What's up, boys? How we doing out here? We trying to have a little bit of a gun bang shooty fight? Where'd you guys even appear from? Apparently they're drop potting in behind me. Which brings me to my next point. This game is janky. There's going to be a lot of jank and a lot of wonk inside this title that you're going to have to learn to deal with along the way. My strongest suggestion to you is save frequently and save often before you do anything, because you never know what's going to happen or how a mission's going to bug out on you. Alright, let's pull the ripcord on our jetpack. Those guys are probably going to try to catch up with us, but I'm quite a bit faster than they are. I don't know exactly where this lady might be inside this settlement, but we need to track her down. Let me put my helmet on so that I have a flashlight at least. It looks like we better go inside and check all these, maybe? I don't know. It said I guess the Rot are like a gang from what it looks like now. They're like all the way out there. Oh, no, there's zombies. All right, never mind. Apparently those guys, I don't know exactly why they're spawning right now. I guess they must be upset with me. I see an exclamation point. Exclamation points are good. Let's see if we can find her over here. I was hoping some of these loot crates or something might be lootable, but it doesn't look like. Got you. What's up, buddy? How we doing in here? Where's your door at? Oh, I can hear you. What's up, bro? You just want to, like, kick it? Are you Alldayerrydaybaby? You're a dude. It says who I'm rescuing is a lady, so I don't know. This may or may not be the right person, but he's with me now, I guess. So, I guess limp along behind me, buddy. I guess that was the guy. It just told me the quest was completed when I took him to the edge of town, so I suppose that's that. I have completed a Space Marine mission. This one was kind of underwhelming after a long flight. I was expecting to land to like a hail of gunfire and chaos, but I guess that's just life. I'm gonna Iron Man my way back to the ship real fast. Are there still guys over here? Or were they only a part of the... Apparently there's a bunch of guys hunting that dude too. Fair enough. It's a good thing we landed a far ways away because they kind of bugged out and stayed with our ships. Otherwise, I would have been taking fire that entire time. Alright, well, mission's done. We got paid, as far as I know anyways. It wasn't exactly the best paycheck, but it was a paycheck. Our next batch of missions are in a system called Chesty, where I've got to do like a rescue thing, and then I also need to upload some files to a data server, and then I also think I need to hunt a guy and shoot him with lasers until he is an ashy pile of goop. And so we'll probably try to set our way over towards Chesty. Where's Chesty at? Chesty is hiding out in the cloud over here. And you can 3D like fly through the galaxy if you want. It does actually have 3 dimensions to it. I actually find it easier to find some of my missions when I do them this way. So let's set our path to head over that way, and then we will head to the system Stargate, and we will be on our way. Having now entered on into the Chesty system, let's see where our quarry's at. So Canoodle's over here. They shouldn't be that hard to get a hold of. They're only 6 AU away. That's not that bad. Sometimes, dude, they make you fly out all the way to the edge of the system for these things, which actually kind of makes sense. Like, that's like the kind of...
Yes, I am going to stop here. It has been 13 and a half hours and I am tired. And I'm just going to go to bed now. And yeah, these videos took a long time to post. It's annoying. This stuff about yeah, yeah, I guess by the morning I'll have uploaded. But yeah. And so just a reminder, guys, now hold on, let me pull my video here and make sure I have it. Yeah, there we go. Just a reminder, you've been watching Skycat Live, and tomorrow I'll be doing some more Rust and some more New World and some more EvE and FFXI. And thank you so much for your time. I love your face, and thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for everybody who's subbed to me and liked to me and followed me. And click on the cast face to donate, or come to Twitch or YouTube. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I will be on tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.